Hi there, everybody. So, how's everyone feeling? Are you all pumped up and ready to take your e-commerce game to the next level? Today, we've got an awesome event planned for you, where we'll be sharing some secret tips and tricks for boosting your sales with digital marketing and SEO. Trust me, you won't want to miss this.
That's right, Carolina. Hello, everyone. I'm Mateus. I've been in this industry for over 15 years, working with clients from all over the world to optimize their campaigns, to drive conversions, and of course, ultimately boost their bottom line. With that said, I'm thrilled to be co-hosting with you today.
And we've got another superstar with us today, Pavlas from APG Media as well. Pavlas is one of the most goal-oriented individuals I've ever met. He is constantly pushing himself and his clients to achieve more and stay ahead of the curve. With years of experience and a finger on the pulse of the industry, Pavlos is always up to date with the latest tools and strategies.
Thanks so much, Carolina, for this awesome presentation. It's great to be here today. I'm excited to share some of my insights. Uh, Excuse me, but I'm also eager to learn from both of you. Together, I think we're going to serve up some seriously valuable information for our audience today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, whether you're looking to climb to the top of the search rankings, attract more customers, or just rake in more cash, we've got you covered. From juicy social media strategies to crispy SEO tactics, we'll be diving deep into all the latest and greatest techniques for e-commerce success. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's get started. Before we dive into our discussion, I want to remind our audience that if you want to receive a recording of this event and a white paper of all the hacks we've discussed today, make sure to check the event description where we will leave a link for our newsletter subscription. Also, one lucky subscriber will get a small SEO and digital marketing audit, so don't snooze on this opportunity. And now let's get back to the conversation. So, as we all know, building trust is absolutely crucial for e-commerce businesses. Customers need to feel comfortable purchasing products online, and it's up to businesses to establish that trust. So, Matthias, do you have any particular marketing tactics that you've seen work well for building trust with an e-commerce audience?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so one strategy that I've seen work well is social proof. So social proof, that essentially is the idea that people are more likely to do something if they see that others are already doing it as well. So for example, if you can show that other people have purchased a product and are happy with it, that could go a long way towards building trust with new potential customers.
I completely agree, Mateus. I think social proof is a fantastic way to build trust and credibility. Another tactic that I've seen work really well is providing a clear and concise return policy. When customers know that they can return a product and that they're not happy with, it takes away some of the risk of purchasing online. And when you make it easy for customers to return products, it shows that you stand behind your products and are confident in their quality.
Yeah, and I think another important aspect of building trust is having a professional looking website. When customers land on your site, they should feel like they are dealing with a reputable business. This means like having a clean, easy to navigate website that looks great on all devices. It's also important to have a high quality product images and detailed product descriptions so your customers know exactly what they're getting. But guys, I think you're holding back. these are the staples of e-commerce business, and we promised hacks to this audience. So please spill the beans.
Okay, I agree with Shagrona that having a professional-looking website is important. But yeah, Mateus, you mentioned earlier that you have a hack for building trust with your target audience. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, indeed I do. Okay, so one tactic that e-commerce businesses can use to build trust and credibility with their target audience is actually to leverage third-party articles. So instead of leading people directly to your website from your ads, you could consider leading them to a third-party article that describes your product or service in detail. So this article should be written by a reputable source, such as a well-known blogger, journalist, or some kind of industry expert.
That's really interesting. How does that work exactly?
By doing so, you can leverage the trust and credibility that these third-party sources have already established with your target audience. And when people read about your product or service in an article that is written by someone that they trust, they're more likely to view your business in a positive light and might even consider making a purchase from your website.
So you mean we should have someone else write about our product or service instead of writing about it ourselves?
That's true. In fact, by having a third-party source write about your product or service, you can actually establish trust and credibility with your target audience more effectively. So people are more likely to trust the opinion of a reputable blogger, journalist, industry expert than a business promoting itself and its own products.
Okay, I see. So how do we make sure that people end up on our website after reading this article?
Well, that's pretty clear. You have to make sure that the article includes links to your product page so that people can actually navigate to your website and make a purchase after reading the article. And also have to make sure that you include a clear call to action in the article that would encourage people to check out the product or website, your product on your website after they would read the article in mention.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I can see how this would help build trust and credibility with our target audience.
Yeah, and it's a unique way to stand out from the competition.
Yeah, definitely. Well, another hack that commerce businesses can use to build trust their target audience is authority stacking. This technique involves leveraging the authority of other websites to improve your own website's credibility and visibility in search engine results. By contributing to authoritative websites in your industry or niche, you can get backlinks to your website, which can help improve your website's domain authority and, in turn, search engine rankings.
That sounds very interesting, Pavlos. How can businesses identify these authoritative websites?
Yeah, great question. To identify these authoritative websites in your industry, you can use tools like Ahrefs or Moz. I prefer Ahrefs. There are a bunch of free tools as well, just like these. And what these tools do, they can help you find websites with high domain authority and basically a strong presence online. And once you've identified these websites, you can reach out to them and ask if you can contribute guest blog posts or other types of content. Could be infographics, interviews, podcasts, whatever.
Interesting. That's a great tip, Pavlos. But how does contributing content to other websites could help build trust with your target audience?
Another great question. When people see your brand mentioned on authoritative websites, they're more likely to view your business as trustworthy and credible. This is because they associate your brand with the authority of the website that you're contributing to. And it's not only with your audience, the users, but also with search engine rankings. By using this technique, you can build trust with your audience and increase the likelihood that they will make a purchase on your website.
So how can e-commerce businesses get started with authority stacking?
So to get started with authority stacking, businesses can create a list of authority websites in their industry or niche and reach out to them to see if they're interested in accepting guest blog posts or other types of content. As mentioned, it's important to remember that this technique requires effort and time to see results, but it can be a great way to establish your business as a trustworthy and credible brand in the eyes of your customers.
Okay, Pavle, thank you for sharing. Now I would like to move to our second topic that I prepared for today. So let's talk about how businesses can use their competitors for their benefit. Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I think I have one. So one way to leverage your competitors is actually through YouTube ads.
Okay, can you elaborate more on that, Matthias?
Sure. So with in-stream ads, you can actually show your ads before, during, or after your competitor's video, depending on your choice, of course. This means that you can insert your brand into the conversation and catch the attention of people who are already interested in your industry or niche.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. Can you tell us more about the targeting options for these ads?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Google targeting options, you can hyper-target your ads to specific videos or channels, if that's a preference. For example, you can target people who are watching videos about your competitors or just people who are watching videos related to your industry.
And how effective are these ads? Do you have any experience with them?
Well, in-stream ads can be a powerful tool for e-commerce businesses that are looking to increase their visibility and reach new customers. So by targeting people who are already interested in your industry or niche, you can increase the likelihood that they will engage with your ad and afterwards visit your website and hopefully make a purchase.
Well, it definitely sounds like a strategy worth trying out. Pavlos, is there any way to do something similar with SEO?
If we're talking about using our competitors for our benefit, well, one of the easiest ways is using competitors' keywords research. It is a common practice in SEO, but I'd like to share another tactic that can be very effective in leveraging your competitors' authority. It's called broken link building.
Can you please tell us more about what broken link building actually is?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's a tactic where you identify high authority websites in your industry or niche that are linking to your competitors' websites. We then check to see if any of these links are broken or no longer working. If you find broken links, you reach out to the website owner and let them know about the broken link. You can offer to provide them with a replacement link to your website that provides similar or better content. Sure. Then the link that is no longer working.
And what's the benefit of doing that? Are we just helping these websites to clean up their broken links?
Well, it goes both ways. When the website owner replaces the broken link with a link to your websites, you'll receive a valuable backlink, and that can help improve your search engine rankings. This is because search engines view backlinks from high authority websites as a signal that your website is credible and trustworthy. Plus, you're helping the website owner by providing them with a working link.
Well, okay, that sounds like a win-win situation to me. But how can you find these broken links?
You can use tools, as I mentioned before, like Ahrefs or Moz to find these links. These tools allow you to see all the backlinks to a particular website, a particular competitor, and identify any broken links. Once you found the broken links, you can reach out to the website owner and offer them a replacement link.
Oh, guys, this actually reminded me of another tactic, which is bidding on your competitors' brand keywords. So by doing that, you can you can suggest users that are experiencing issues with the products of your competitors. You can target them with examples like your competitor's name, plus help, support, contact, or any other similar keyword that would be relevant. And it's a great way to get in front of an audience that may be happy to consider other products or services, not exactly their competitor.
So, for example, if I want to poach Amazon's clients, I will buy keyword Amazon support or Amazon help, and in this way I would reach an audience that aren't very happy with Amazon services. That's right?
Well, I'm not exactly sure if I would use Amazon as the best example, but let me try to explain. So when users would be searching for help or support related to a competitor's product, they might see your ad instead. So you can then drive that traffic, so these users, to a landing page comparing your competitor's product against your own, and also additionally explaining why it might make sense to actually check out your product instead of your competitors.
Okay, so that sounds like a very clever way to attract potential customers who are already interested in your competitors' products. But are there any risks involved in the strategy?
Well, unfortunately there is. So like with the example of Amazon that you used before, as I said, it would be a bit risky. And the reason why I said so, it's of course important to be conscious about that bidding on your competitors' brand keywords. That could be some kind of a violation for search engine policies in some cases. So before implementing this tactic, first of all, it's important to actually do your research and make sure that you're not violating any policies, laws, or anything of the sort.
As Mateus was talking, I actually remembered another one that can be really helpful with SEO. It's all about identifying what small websites are doing well enough to rank among big websites.
Can you please tell us more about it?
So basically the idea is to analyze your competitor's entire site, especially looking at what pages provide topical authority and relevant signals. Then you can create better content, adjust pages to your website, build topical authority in your website, and really hammer the home with high authority links. I guarantee you'll see some changes.
Okay, that sounds great. But how do you know which competitors to target?
The key is to find competitors with low domain authority or domain rating that are ranking between the top dogs in search engine results page. Then you want to analyze those links, those landing pages, and see if they have more specific or better backlink profiles or internal content, linking, and so on to that group of topics than you do or other competitors that have a higher domain authority. You'll also want to look at their EAT, which stands for experience, expertise, authoritiveness, and trustworthiness. This means looking at where they have links, maybe interviews, other mentions, and podcasts, and what kind of content they have on their page, and what kind of content cluster pages they have. Finally, you want to analyze SERP history, which is search engine results page, and see how long they've been ranking for this term. See any fluctuations, and if they have been there for a long time in the top 10, top 5, with low domain authority, you can definitely steal some ideas, backend profile ideas and content from them. So
Well, this sounds like a great tactic, Paulus. I can actually see how this could really give us an edge in the search results.
Okay, all right. We've talked about how to be a bit sneaky and tease your competitors to gain an edge. But what about leveraging your business friends? Are there any marketing tactics related to that?
Leveraging business friends can be really beneficial for any business. And one tactic related to this is called guest posting.
And can you tell us more about that?
Guest posting is when you write an article or a blog post for another website in your industry or niche. We did mention it at the start by Mateus, and I did mention it before, but this is where the business friends really come in. And by doing so, you not only get exposure to a new audience, but also gain a valuable backlink to your own website.
How would you get started with guest posting?
To get started with guest posting, you need to identify websites in your industry or niche that accept guest posts. So look for websites that are relevant to your business first, that have a higher domain authority and publish quality content.
So let's maybe just get one step back. What should you do once you identify the potential website where you can guest post?
Once you identify them, you could reach out to them, to the website owners, to the editors, and pitch them on an article idea. Make sure your article is informative, valuable, and relevant to their audience, so they would want to post it. In the article, you can include a link back to your own website or product page, which can help improve your search engine rankings.
Okay, so this is a common practice in the industry. Are there maybe any places where you can suggest or look for these websites, or just mainly through these tools that you've mentioned before?
Definitely through some tools,
okay.
But you really it takes a lot of time, and you can use your competitors as a source to find these pages. But Google is your best friend here.
Okay, so that sounds like a great way to improve your SEO. How can guest posting benefit e-commerce businesses specifically?
Guest posting is a great SEO tactic for e-commerce businesses because it allows you to leverage the credibility and authority of other websites in your industry. By providing high-quality content to other websites, you not only gain valuable exposure to a new audience, to their audience, but also establish yourself as a credible and trustworthy brand in the industry, and you just show your customers that you're here to stay.
Guys, actually, now that I think of it, there's also another way to benefit from business relationships in digital marketing as well. So what I have in mind, by exchanging metapixel data with other advertisers, you can tap into a new audience that may be potentially interested in your product or service, but just simply hasn't heard of you yet.
Okay, that's cool. Well, can you elaborate on that, Mateus?
Sure. As you know, metapixel data is essentially basically tracking code, similar to what cookies do in just say Chrome search engine or something. So that, as I said, is essentially tracking code that you can place on your website to collect data about your visitors. And by exchanging this data with other advertisers, you can target their audience based on their behaviors and interests.
Okay, so I just want to maybe clarify one point, because I've heard of this tactic before. that we are not actually sharing the pixel itself. We are just sharing audiences created with the help of pixel, and it's actually a legal practice. It's supported by the built-in function inside of Meta that enables businesses to share their audiences between other businesses. But how do you find these companies to partner with for this, Matthias? Do you know?
Okay, so the key to make this tactic work is you actually have to find companies that have a similar audience, but are not your direct competitors. So by partnering with these companies, you can both benefit from the increased exposure, reach new customers who are already interested in your industry or niche, and get the best of it pretty much.
Okay, so that makes sense. But how do you ensure that your pixel or like audience data is safe when exchanging it with other companies?
Well, sounds tricky, and that does for a reason. So, of course, you have to have a good relationship with the other company to make this work. And of course, you need to be able to trust them with your pixel data, and they'll need to trust you with theirs likewise. Excuse me. So that's why it's important to find companies that you respect, admire, and companies that share the same values and vision just like you.
Okay. While also listening to your tips, I also remembered one hack, how you can leverage your business buddies. It's a more common hack that I think is still worth mentioning. You can run a cross-promotion campaign with a company with also a similar audience, similarly with this pixel sharing tactic, but it's not your direct competition. Ad types that work really well for this tactic could be seasonal discounts, referral contests, or I don't know, just bundle sharing, something like that. Okay, so that's it for this business friends round, and it's time for a bonus round without any specific topic. Tell me a hack that you feel marketers and business owners are still sleeping on.
Okay, so the trend I've noticed is that organic click-through rate is decreasing, which means we need to put more effort into optimizing title tags. Some quick tips would be to keep them between 40 to 60 characters, write them in title case instead of just lowercase letters, add brackets or parentheses, and use powerful words, power words. For example, best, new, trendy, whatever power words you can use that don't look too spammy. That's another thing to keep in mind. That's title tags can look a little bit spammy and clickbaity. So avoid that, but try to use them as much as possible. Use brackets whenever you can use the year in the title tag as well, like 2023 if the content on the page that it's linking to it could be relevant with the year and could be outdated. Adding a year in the brackets could definitely help.
Okay, that's very interesting point, Pavlos. I've definitely seen a drop in organic CTR as well. So it's good to know that there are ways to combat it, and we are not in a free fall.
Well, it's important to remember that title tags are often the first impression a user has of your website, and so it's crucial to make them as compelling as possible.
Absolutely, and with so much competition out there, every little optimization can make a very, very big difference. So thanks for sharing those tips, Pavlos. Motiejus, do you have something else for us?
Yeah, and actually, it's funny how few people or companies are using this so-called low-hanging fruit, but I cannot stress enough how important it's to take advantage of new possible ad formats and features that different advertisement platforms do roll out. So these new features are often given priority by the algorithms, and actually can give you a significant edge over your competitors. So, for example, Google Ads have this thing called Performance Max. It's an ad format that is a powerful tool which allows you to run multiple different ad types across different Google networks, in which you can reach your target audience more effectively than ever before. And actually, as I mentioned before, it's surprising to see so many accounts not utilizing those features as of yet.
Yeah, absolutely, Matthias. I've seen accounts that haven't even tested Performance Max. I see them very often. And I think it's crucial to stay up to date with the latest trends and features in the industry too. But I also think it's important not to forget about the basics. Sometimes the tried and true methods are the most effective.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you both. It's all about finding the right balance between old and new. You don't want to neglect the basics, right? But you also don't want to fall behind by ignoring new trends, new technologies, AI. It's important to stay informed and experiment with new strategies and see what works best for your business.
Okay, so before wrapping up, we've got a question from the audience for Motiejus. Motiejus, do you maybe know any marketplaces for pixel sharing for the hack you mentioned before?
Oh, yeah, I was actually wondering why nobody would ask me that. But yeah, there are a few different places where you can actually get this data from. So one I could actually recommend checking out would be perfectaudience.com. So yeah,
Okay.
check it out.
So thank you both, Pavlos and Motiejus, for sharing these valuable insights on how to leverage business relationships for SEO and PPC success. I'm sure our audience found them very helpful. Now, before we wrap up, I'd like to remind our audience that we have a special offer today for you all. We will be providing a recording of this interview and a PDF with all tactics that we've discussed today. So if you'd like to receive these valuable resources, please fill out a subscription form in our event page. So thank you again for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you more valuable content in the future. So stay tuned.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.